So if you haven't heard already, the Lakers are closing in on acquiring Russell Westbrook from the Washington Wizards in exchange for Kyle Kuzma, KCP, Montrezl Harrell, and the Lakers potentially sending their 2021 first round pick to the Wizards for Washington's second round pick. So man, there's a lot to unpack here, and I think overall this is a very good move for LA. Well, at least if Westbrook can stay healthy, which he's had some trouble with over the past few seasons, but I do think if he's healthy, this could be a good move, though there is definitely some downside as well. So let's go over how the Lakers' new big three will fit together and how I think they'll gel next season. And very quickly before we get into it, if you want to see more interesting NBA content just like this, be sure to drop a like and subscribe, as I'm going to be putting out a ton of content over the NBA draft and the offseason. So the new addition of Russell Westbrook should be a very interesting fit to say the least for LA. You know, he's definitely a polarizing player with a lot of pros and cons, and to start off with the pros, he's a great attacker to the rim. He's an excellent driver and breaks down defenses very well. He's also great at kicking out the ball to the open shooter. He's awesome in transition, and overall he's a very good distributor. Now for the cons, he is turnover prone, which a lot of that can be chalked up to having the ball so much and having such a high usage. He's also a pretty poor shooter, and he's also getting up there in age with a couple more years left on his contract. But to start off positively, Westbrook will take a lot of pressure off of LeBron in the playmaking department. Good riddance Dennis Schroeder, and Russell Westbrook is a huge upgrade over Dennis in this department. Schroeder was a pretty average passer for a point guard, while Russell Westbrook is elite, especially in transition. Just imagine Russ, Bron, and AD in transition, which will be basically unstoppable, but Westbrook is also great at driving kicks as well in half-court sets. I think we saw this both in Oklahoma City and in Houston and in Washington, though a lot of those times those teams didn't have the necessary shooters to really capitalize on Westbrook's strengths here. And this is something that currently applies to the Lakers as well as with their current team. They do not have a lot of good perimeter shooters, especially given the fact that they just traded away KCP, who was over a 40% three-point shooter last season. It's not looking too good for LA shooting next season. But of course, we still have free agency left, and I'm sure there's a good amount of shooters out on the market. For example, guys like Doug McDermott, Wayne Ellington, and others as well that hopefully the Lakers can get potentially for relatively cheap. But moving on to Westbrook's fit with LeBron and AD, in regards to how he fits with LeBron, again like I said before, I think he'll take a lot of pressure off of LeBron in the playmaking department, but also in the scoring department as well. We all know Westbrook is a good scorer, though he does struggle with his shooting, but he's actually pretty good in the mid-range, and he's also excellent in getting to the rim, though of course he's not always the most efficient. But even then, he'll still be a much bigger offensive threat than Dennis Schroeder, and that of course along with playing with AD should give LeBron a lot of rest, whether him be taking the backseat in being the top scoring option, but also when he's on the bench as well. In regards to Westbrook's fit with AD, I actually think it will be pretty good, as we all know AD, while not an elite three-point shooter, he can definitely shoot it outside for a big man, and he can help spread the floor, which is something that Westbrook could definitely use, playing next to a big man who can both dominate inside and outside. In this case, I can see a lot of plays where Westbrook has the ball, and then he can either kick it out to Davis on a pick and pop or in the pick and roll. We all know how athletic AD is, and he's a great finisher at the rim on lobs. And not to mention, AD is a terrific rim protector, which should definitely help out when Westbrook misses his assignment or he gets blown by on defense, as nowadays he's definitely not a very good defender. Overall, I'm excited about how Westbrook will fit with the Lakers. I'm not 100% sold yet, but there's a lot to be optimistic about, and this is the risk you gotta take with LeBron likely only having a few more years left in his career. So, we'll see what happens, and this was more of an initial thoughts video, so that's why my ideas and thoughts were kind of all over the place in this video, as I didn't really have a script for this one, but I do have a more in-depth video coming out in a few hours, so stay tuned for that. So that's a wrap. Thank you guys all for watching. If you guys did enjoy this video and want to see more daily NBA content just like this, be sure to drop a like and subscribe, and also be sure to turn on post notifications so you can stay updated on when this video will be coming out. Also, be sure to follow me on IG and hit me up if you want to talk about basketball or business. Just drop a comment down below my photo or DM me, and I'll definitely try to get back to most of you guys there. Drop a comment down below on how you think Westbrook will fit with the Lakers. What do you think of the Lakers' new big three? As I read all comments, I'm definitely interested to see what you guys have to say here as well. So with all that being said, once again, thank you guys all for watching. Hopefully, I'll see you on the next video. Peace.